office the apex court judges, among them Chief Justice Martha Koome, speaking during the commissioning of a dormitory in Longonot Secondary School, Nakuru County. Kihara termed the move as politically motivated, arguing that removing the CJ from office could severely undermine the independence of the judiciary. This even as the High Court temporarily stopped the Judicial Service Commission from proceeding with a petition seeking the removal of the Supreme Court judges. Several petitions have been signed seeking their removal from office on claims of misconduct and incompetence.
It's not fair kutumia kiti ama ukubwa wako kuhangaisha Martha Koome.
Elsewhere, the family of the slain police officer Samuel Kaitwai, who was shot dead in the line of duty in Haiti, is still in shock following the death of their kin. The family of the deceased, who hail from a little-known Nigerian village in Kajiado East, eulogized him as a diligent young man with high aspirations, dedicated to supporting his young family, and who served as a beacon of hope for his extended family. The 28-year-old police officer had been serving the police border patrol unit in northeastern Kenya since 2021 before his deployment to Haiti for a peacekeeping mission. He was shot dead on Sunday during an attack by gang members in Haiti.
Alikuwa tu anaulizia watoto
na tulipokea kama familia, kama eneo tumepokea hiyo ujumbe ya huzuni sana.
Tumepoteza mmoja wetu, kijana wetu ambayo hajaenda kupotea. Wakati alipata kazi hakuenda kwa mkuka, hakuenda kwa pombe, hakuenda kwa njia nyingine.
Elsewhere, clinical officers in Baringo County have downed their tools in protest for what they claim as unfavorable working conditions. Health services have been adversely affected at the 148 health facilities across the county following the start of the strike on 7th February. Led by their chairman, Francis Cheloboy, the clinical officers decried shortage of staff and lack of promotions as key concerns. The striking clinicians have vowed not to return to work until their demands are met. We'll bring you an updated version of that report a little bit later on, but elsewhere, residents of Yaku community in Laikipia North Sub-County are calling on the government to allocate them an administrative ward to help foster development in their area. The community is grappling with significant challenges, including limited access to essential services such as healthcare and education.
Who are getting earlier pregnancy, we don't have any dispensary near here, so we humble our government to assist us to have one dispensary.
Hatuwezi kubali iwe tukibebwa na ndovu kila siku. Tumesema tutabike, tutoke ndani ya Maasai. Kama sisi ni Wandorobo, tukae kama Ndorobo. Kama sisi ni yako, tukae kama yako. Hatuwezi kubali tubebwe kwa mgongo, miaka nenda, miaka rudi.
In our country, there are communities that are facing threats with respect to languages and culture. A unit that we had is the unit that has been established under the Office of the President in 2023 under the Executive Order number 2 of 2023 to try and look into the issues surrounding the ethnic minorities and marginalized communities of our country.
Moving on, 130 households in Awendo, Migori County are set to benefit from a 2-kilometer electrification project under the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, REREC. While commissioning the project, the Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, Opiyo Wandayi, noted that government had allocated 1.6 billion shillings for the 2024-2025 financial year to the last mile connectivity program to bridge the country's electricity gap.
Ile amri tumepewa na Mheshimiwa Rais kama wizara ni kwamba tukifanya mambo ya maendeleo ya stima tuifanye bila mapendeleo au ubaguzi wowote. 1.6 billion shillings this financial year alone kwa mambo ya stima. Na hiyo ni jukumu letu kama wizara pamoja na wabunge tuhakikisha kwamba hiyo pesa imefanya kazi yake. Apart from the 1.6 billion kutoka Wendo hadi Isibania imekamilika pamoja na substation kule Masaba. Na laini ya stima kutoka Sondu kuelekea Ndhiwa imeanza. Tuko na mpangilio kabambe katika hii county yetu ya Migori.
From Migori to Kilifi County, where Governor Gideon Mung'aro has secured a 2.8 billion shillings investment to support 10,500 farmers grow cashew nuts in the county. The governor announced this during the issuance of a 21 million shillings check to 23 SACCOs and 4.5 million shillings to farmer producer groups under the National Agricultural Value Chain Development Project. SACCOs and farmer groups have been urged to embrace modern technology in financial management as the county government, works towards a more structured and profitable cashew nut value chain.
Pia kama county pale Shakahola mlikuwa mmeongea, kuna kitu inaitwa Chakama Phase 3. Tumetenga eka 5,000. Hao wekezaji wakija hawatalima hao. Hata kama ni eka 5,000, utajua unataka kulima ukatiwe eka, upewe mbegu upande.
We need to establish an altered size of over 5,000 million trees in the next 3 years to meet part of the global demand. As it is, we cannot produce enough to meet the global demand of cashews. We can authoritatively state that the market is ambiguous and will ever expand.
Tuko na SACCOs ambao watasaidia kupeana hizo pesa kwa affordable loans ambao itasaidia wakulima kupata kuweza kununua inputs na hata pia kwa shughuli zingine za nyumbani kama ni kuwapeleka shule, lakini a great percentage is that ile pesa wasaidie katika shughuli za agri.
Still at the coast, youth previously linked to criminal gangs in Diani, Kwale County, have pledged to abandon crime and embrace peace after signing a historic peace agreement. The initiative, spearheaded by a community-based organization, seeks to address the rise in criminal gangs in the wake of high unemployment. The youths, infamously known as Vijana wa Mapanga, have been accused of engaging in violent clashes, often driven by territorial disputes. These conflicts have resulted in numerous injuries and fatalities.
Wamekubaliana kuwa watafanya kazi kwa pamoja, wata ceasefire katika zile hali tofauti za mtafaruku, wataweza kuwa tayari kushikamana na washikadau wengine, wapewe skill sets ili waweze kusaidia mahali pakubwa katika maeneo.
Sisi hatuna vijana wengine ambao tumewategemea nyinyi. Kwa hivyo nyinyi ikiwa mtaingia njia ambayo si sawa, sisi sote tutapata hasara. Si wazazi wenu peke yake, sisi sote, jamii nzima, Kenya nzima, ulimwengu mzima utapata hasara.
Still in the county, 112 students from Arabuko Forest High School in Kilifi County are set to join Uma University in Kajiado County will benefit from a scholarship funded by Direct Aid Organization. Speaking during a prize-giving ceremony at Arabuko Forest High School, the director of Direct Aid Organization, Dr. Ismail Hassan, says the move aims to motivate bright students coming from poor backgrounds to achieve their dreams and uplift their lives. On his part, Speaker of the Lamu County Assembly, Azar Mbarak, is lauding the initiative called for prioritization of youth environment.
Lakini leo tunaona ya kuwa tutapata matokeo mazuri kutokamana na shule za Coast, ikiwa ni hii au ikiwa ni Sheikh Khalifa, ikiwa ni nyinginezo, tutajivunia yote haya. Na watoto wengi sasa wanakwenda university.
Na zaidi tunaomba tu watu wazidi kushirikiana ili tuweze kutoa watoto kwa mitaani na barabarani, wao watakuwa wamehifadhika kwenye mashule.
Mwanafunzi akirudi kutoka shuleni, wacha tukue na wakati na wao, tukae na wao, tuwaulize masomo yao vile iko, discipline yao wakati wako shuleni namna gani, na tuwahimize kwa msomo ili wasome vizuri.
And away from the sunny beaches of the coast, clinical officers in Baringo County have downed their tools in protest of what they claim as unfavorable working conditions. Health services have been adversely affected at the 148 health facilities across the county following the start of the strike on 7th February, led by Chairman Francis Cheloboy. The clinical officers decried shortage of staff and lack of promotions as key concerns. The striking clinicians have vowed not to return to work until their demands are met.
Solidarity forever.
Ile environment ambayo tunafanya kazi high meet the standards. Aswa ukikuja kwa county referral hospital, ukiangalia idadi ya maafisa wa kliniki tabibu, ni kwamba tuko na changamoto kwa sababu wala ambao wameajiriwa na county government ni wanne ama ni watano pekee ambao ni general practitioners. Kwa due for promotion kufikia mwezi wa 10 mwaka uliopita, na hadi sasa hatujaweza kupata hiyo promotion.
All psychiatric department, all ENT, all these departments are stalled. There is no service provision to the entire residents of Baringo County.
Very well, it's about 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Allow me and Susan Thuku to take a quick break, but when we come back, I'll be telling you all about smart agriculture and later on, the latest from the world of sports.
Last time you called me to go back and fix the plumbing, I felt like she was acting weirdly, as if someone was at home.
Huh?
I'll give her a call and ask.
Are you crazy? It's none of your business. You two are divorced.
What are you doing?
It took us a lot of effort to get this banned. Make sure nothing goes wrong during the event.
Let me tell you the truth. The reason we're here today is to match your sister and my uncle. I want to create some time for them to be alone.
Get ready for the Shift Season 2. We're shifting from the studio to the grassroots, where policy meets reality. Your views meet government's voice.
This is not just about principal secretaries or any senior member of government. It is about you.
From agriculture to infrastructure, health to housing, MSMEs to the digital superhighway, a creative economy and beyond.
Get exclusive updates as Principal Secretaries share first-hand insights on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda rollout.
As we shift in transforming Kenya, we also shift from the studio to come to the field to check on what is going on, combine what we say with practically what is happening on the ground. Don't miss the program.
Every Tuesday on The Shift.
The Shift, Tuesday at 9 p.m. on KBC Channel 1.
I never heard the music so sweet. I repeat.
Wagwan, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth reggae vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata
Simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa. Hadija ai, mani especially ukisonga.
If I put it to you that ile makosa ulifanya niliwakataza. Bambi ya boyfriend. How do you go to your boyfriend and you're going to school? What is more important than
sina
school?
boyfriend.
Huu ni mtoto wako?
No, I'm the second parent now. Yes.
Second parent, yes. Lakini hii mambo namwambia ya hao maboyfriend ulijulia wapi?
Nilijua.
Na mbona hukufuatilia mzazi wake umwambie?
Kwa hivyo if I tell this honorable court that what you did, it was your own judgment. Ukafungia watoto nje. Will I be lying? No. Thank you.
Wewe ndio uliamua kufungia watoto nje wanafunzi.
Hapana, nilifuata masharti yake mheshimiwa.
Na sasa unasema yes. Kama uelewi sema sielewi.
Elewi na yeye ni principal.
Wacha nikwambie, kitu mbaya angefanyikia mmoja wao wanafunzi, hiyo kisungu yako angeisha.
Wait a minute, let me ask you.
Maswali umemaliza ya hii kesi.
Welcome back to KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. Moving on, the National Assembly Committee on Lands has decried what it terms as delayed compensation of Kenyan households displaced by government undertaken projects such as construction of roads and other strategic infrastructure. In a meeting with the National Land Commission during a review of the 2025 budget policy statement, the committee led by North Mugirango Member of Parliament Joash Nyamoko said some of the affected individuals have since died without receiving their compensation, while many households had been plunged into poverty. National Lands Commission Chairperson Gershom Otachi said compensations were pending due to unavailability of funds.
It is prepared, is done from Treasury and then transmitted to Parliament. And when it appears that's what we went through in the morning. These are the figures we are looking at, the reports as extracted from that statement.
We now have the titles for Kipini, which is part of this, which was supposed to be issued by the president actually, I think on Thursday. We have titles for Kipini, we have titles for Weru, around 6,000. We have titles for Mijikenda, which is part of the settlement.
Who is going to drop their figures? And how did these figures find themselves on the floor of the House? Because they'll say that National Assembly, as usual, they just drop figures. Because that is the accusation out there. Who is making us drop these figures?
Ndio sababu nasema saizi hatuna hela. Lakini hilo swali lingejibiwa vizuri zaidi na Kenya National Highways Authority. Na labda kama mngetuita pamoja, bila mmefanya wakati mwingine, ndio muulize hilo swali, muulize kwa sababu gani mnaweka bajeti kwa project fulani mnaweka na zingine hapo.
Now, wheat farmers across the country took the streets to protest what they claimed was flooding of the local market with imported wheat. The farmers who lamented the lack of a market for their produce said that it sold below the agreed price. They are now calling on the government to regulate wheat importation volumes to ensure they have enough market for their produce.
In Narok County, wheat farmers barricaded the Narok-Bomet highway at River Narok to protest the lack of a market for their produce. The demonstrations caused huge traffic snarl-up in Narok town, disrupting businesses for hours. Narok Wheat Farmers Chairman Stanley Koonyo said Over 300,000 bags of wheat were lying in silos since they were harvested. The farmers threatened to engage in other businesses that would give them higher profits if the government failed to provide a market for their produce.
Na lazima litekelezwe kwa sababu wakulima wetu ngano yao lazima inunuliwe. Tunapoketi mahali hapa hata kuzungumza hapa, nataka kuambia swali ambalo ninauliza liko bungeni tayari.
Sasa nimeongea na ofisi ya Kagwe na wamenihakikishia ya kwamba zile 400,000 bags ambayo zimetoka kwa Lower Mau na the Upper Mau.
Yes.
Within 2 weeks. Sini 24. So ina maana kwamba by tarehe 2 ama tarehe ngapi? Tarehe moja.
Yes.
Hii ngano ambayo iko hapa itanunuliwa yote.
Hao watu wanaitwa farmers. Ni watu ambao wameshikilia uchumi kubwa katika nchi hii ya Kenya na hasa katika Narok County. Na watu wameumizwa. Tunaona millers wameanza kuleta chakula kutoka kando ya nchi. Brazil wameleta wheat na tunahakikisha kuwa hiyo haitaendelea kamwe tukiwa watu wa Narok.
In Laikipia and Meru counties, wheat farmers are stuck with nearly 1 million bags of wheat following flooding of imported commodities in the market. Speaking in Nanyuki town during protests, the farmers claimed that millers and their marketing agents are offering prices that are below the production cost.
Tunajua serikali walielewana wakulima wanunuliwe ngano na bei ya 5,300, lakini kwa wale wanaja kutununulia pale mashambani wanatununulia na bei ya 3,500. Tuko na challenge kwa sababu mahali tunaambiwa tunafaa kupeleka ngano yetu ndio tununuliwe hiyo 5,300 ni mbali, labda tujipelekee kwa hizo visiagi.
Shinda iko sana ya kulima wa ngano kwa sababu wale watu walivuna ngano kana sawa juu watapeleka wapi, na ile bei imeanzia bei kidogo sana, na zaidi wa kama Meru inaenda kununuliwa na wana sehemu ya kuipeleka.
The same script was replicated in Uasin Gishu County, where farmers stormed Eldoret town, blaming the government for importing wheat instead of buying from them.
They bring more from outside, and then they just require a few bags to top up from the farmers, which is very wrong. The farmer should be given a priority. Si ya nje ijaye kwa store, alafu sasa ya nyumbani inaonekana ni option B.
The quantities and the production is only 10%, about 2.5 million bags. The rest, 90%, is imported. How come this 10% cannot be mopped up?
The farmers are now calling on the government to regulate wheat importation volumes to ensure that local millers import only when the country has a deficit.
And from farmers to traders, where operations at Githurai in Ruiru, Kiambu County were paralyzed for hours after small-scale traders who operated on a makeshift market opposed the planned eviction by Kenya Urban Roads Authority, KURA. This and more in the County News Roundup.
While burning tires and barricading the road connecting the busy town with the Thika superhighway, the traders in their tents took issue with a sole business person from the area whom they accused of scheming to have them evicted to put up modern kiosks in the premises. Speaking after they successfully brought operations in the sprawling town to a standstill, the traders narrated that they woke up to find their stalls marked for demolition by the Kenya Urban Roads Authority after a notice issued to them expired.
Hapa ni watu wamekaa zaidi ya miaka 30 wakifanyia biashara, lakini ile mambo inaendelea ni ukora mtupu, kwa sababu hii marking wanakuja kuifanya usiku.
Sasa hivi ukiangalia kuna vitu ziko hapo kwa barabara, mbona hazijawekwa X? Inamaanisha kuna kitu inaendelea, sio barabara inatengenezwa. Tunastahili kutolewa kwa hii barabara, watu wengine wakuja wajenge wafanyie biashara huko.
Elsewhere, traders at Soko Mjinga Market in Holma Bay Town are urging the county government to repair a drainage system where the body of a rider was discovered early Monday morning. The deceased, identified as Fred Abade, was found floating in the open sewer near the market under unclear circumstances.
Ulishajua hata hii shimo, ulikuja hata ukatembea ukaona hii shimo. Please tutengenezee hii shimo tupate venye tunaweza ishi na watu.
Hata chakula inaanguka hapo kila siku mara nyingi. Hata tunamuomba tutengenezee hapo kwa ombi. Si hapa sehemu ya maiti.
In the Serving Training Forum in Kajiado County, meant to inculcate and emphasize the culture of serving, most participants claimed the high cost of living has denied them a chance to save for the rainy day.
The borrowing power of our members has drastically gone down, and perhaps the reason behind that, it is because of the deductions that have been onboarded on the pay-3. We are also dealing with the business people. If the business is not doing well, if the economy is not behaving well, you realize that the cash flow is not adequate.
In Murang'a County, Kangema constituency local chiefs, their assistants, DCI and probation officers have received computers to help them in service delivery in line with the growing internet world.
Everything now has gone digital. Therefore, a chief is a very critical person at the village level who can be able to access those opportunities and is able to guide our people.
This, as more than 50 retired women professionals in Meru County have come together to form the association to help each other fight retirement challenges.
Sasa tunataka kujijenga, tuangalie tuone wale wenzetu ambao wako chini zaidi hata sasa. Tuweze kuinuana. Kama mtu alikuwa na kashamba yake na kwa amejijengea kanyumba kamoja, tuone how we can help it.
And finally, as the dispute between the government and private hospitals over the country's new medical insurance under the Social Health Authority continues, a family from Deia, Kiambu County is asking the government to intervene to see that their relative is released after the patient was detained on unpaid medical fees.
And that county wrap by Alvin Kaunda takes us to our second break. But when we come back, we still have more news, including in business. And later on, we'll visit the sports.
Inua Jamii, karibu nawe, kwa haraka na urahisi. Kwa sasa, malipo ya Inua Jamii yanapatikana moja kwa moja kupitia simu ya mkononi. Ikiwa wewe ni mmoja wa wanaopokea fedha hizi, hakikisha laini yako ina huduma ya pesa mkononi. Iwapo huna laini ya simu ya mkononi, tembelea duka la Safaricom au ajenti wa M-Pesa aliye karibu nawe ili usajiliwe kwa ada ya shilingi 100. Inua Jamii ni mradi wa fedha wa serikali unaolenga Wakenya walio na umri wa miaka 70 na zaidi, watoto yatima na watoto wanaoishi katika mazingira magumu na watu wenye ulemavu sugu, kwa kuwapa malipo ya kila mwezi. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako kwa niaba ya Wizara ya Leba na Huduma za Jamii.
If I put it to you that ile makosa ulifanya nini niliwakataza, mambo ya boyfriend. How do you go to your boyfriend and you're going to school? What is more important than school? Mimi sina boyfriend.
Huu ni mtoto wako?
No, I'm the second parent now. Yes.
Second parent, yes. Lakini hii mambo namwambia ya hao maboyfriend ulijulia wapi?
Nilijua.
Na mbona hukufuatilia mzazi wake umwambie?
Kwa hivyo if I tell this honorable court that what you did, it was your own judgment. Ukafungia watoto nje. Will I be lying?
No.
Thank you.
Wewe ndio uliamua kufungia watoto nje wanafunzi.
Hapana, nilifuata masharti yake mheshimiwa.
Na sasa unasema yes. Kama uelewi sema sielewi.
Yeye haelewi na yeye ni principal.
Wacha nikwambie, kitu mbaya angefanyikia mmoja wao wanafunzi, hiyo kisungu yako angeisha.
Wait a minute, let me ask you.
Maswali umemaliza ya hii kesi.
Welcome back. Moving on, traders at Soko Mjinga Market in Homa Bay Town are urging the county government to repair a drainage system where a body of a motorcycle rider was discovered. The deceased, identified as Fred Abade, who hailed from Lambwe, was found floating in an open sewer near the market. Police officers say Abade's phone and wallet were still in his pocket and he was likely to have been killed elsewhere before his body was dumped. This was the third time a body was found dumped at the same spot, sparking fears among traders that the area is becoming a dumping ground for victims of crime.
Wakati nilienda kuangalia nikatazama nikapata ni mwili kweli. Wakati huo nikapigia mkubwa wangu the chairperson akuje. Alipokuja tukaangalia vizuri tukapata kweli ni mwili ya mtu. Ndio tukatangazia hata hao wengine.
This is a man who was just married last year and he has a son. So this is somebody who has been industrious and hardworking. It is very, very sad to learn today that is normal. My plea to you is to take charge and ensure that those who did this act are brought to book and charged in the court of law.
Sasa tunaomba county government ya Homa Bay wasaidie sisi hapa. Hapa kuna buses mingi hapa. Hatutaki kuona kama hizi vichaka ambao viko nyuma ya soko inakaa hivi. Kwa maana tumesapata mwili karibu 4-5 hapa.
Elsewhere, a group of 100 widows from Nakuru County are breaking cultural barriers and challenging the perception that beekeeping is a male-dominated activity. The women under Tabernacle Widows Home, have ventured into beekeeping as a means of improving their incomes and supporting their families as well. The initiative encourages women to adopt beekeeping as a commercial activity that promotes economic sustainability, poverty reduction, and job creation.
Before starting the project, the women underwent training covering capital requirements, hive construction, honey harvesting, packaging, and marketing. Doris Awinja and Grace Mwihaki are beneficiaries of the project.
Nafikiria hapa tutapata madola kulingana vile tumefunzwa na vile maono yetu tunaona itatusaidia kwa watoto wetu na wajukuu.
Sasa hatuwezi omba, hatuwezi laumu kila mtu na tunafurahia hata wale wamepelekea sisi hii njia.
Dr. Mary Mugambi, Director, Tabernacle Widows Home, expressed confidence that the initiative would transform their lives.
Na baada ya kuvuna asali hii, kila mmoja atapata dividends. Unasikia tumeingia katika ulengo wa kufanya biashara. Sasa hawa unawaona hapa wako na shares. Na watakuja wakiwa wamebeba vibeti vyao vizuri. Tukule dividend.
Nakuru County Women Representative Liza Chelule said the project is ideal as most of the women previously lacked a reliable source of income, promising to work with the county government to support the project.
Ningependa tu kuambia county ya Nakuru wenye wanahusika na mambo ya maji pia watakutana na Mary ataenda tuangalie vile hizi nyuki zitapata maji hapa.
The honey project has led to the distribution and installation of over 250 modern beehives in Menengai Forest for the group. Mariambo reporting for the Lunchtime News.
And at least 150 learners from across the country are set to benefit from a 12 million shilling scholarship program courtesy of the NCBA Group. The scholarships, which have been distributed among the group's various education partners, are set to benefit learners from disadvantaged backgrounds. Speaking during the check handover ceremony, NCBA Group Managing Director John Gashora noted the program is part of the group's 100 million shillings annual pledge aimed at positively impacting communities throughout the country.
Today we presented checks worth about 12 million shillings to various foundations, institutions that work to take kids to school. Overall, we're supporting about 400 children to go to school. And over the last few years since we started this program, we have supported 1,500 kids.
Thank you so much to NCBA for helping KenSAP, who are helping us
because this is indeed changing the story.
A shift focus to matters business. The Micro and Small Enterprise Authority, in collaboration with SNV, has launched the first phase of strategic awareness forums aimed at strengthening the MSME sector. MSEA Director of Infrastructure Development and Innovation, Engineer Edward Karani, says the forum seeks to enhance business resilience and drive sustainable economic growth through informed entrepreneurship. Speaking in Kisumu, Engineer Karani advocated for the strengthening of market linkages to enable MSMEs to scale their businesses and improve their competitiveness.
To market. So in terms of accessing government opportunities, one of the things that we are promoting is ensure that the sector are organized in units that can be able to exist competitively, one, and be able to exist sustainably. So by formalizing in registration of association, registration of umbrella association, registering their businesses, then they are able to access different government opportunities. One of the things that we've been promoting is access to ACPO, that is access to government procurement opportunities.
So where we are hoping to strengthen the ecosystem, and MSEA is part of the ecosystem that we are supporting, because we've had a lot of projects that are supporting the end beneficiaries, but we are not supporting the enabling. So we are supporting the ecosystem so that they can enable the young businesses which are owned by women and youth to be able to thrive.
In other news, Kenya's financial technology sector has gained new representation in the global sustainability efforts with the inclusion of Tala in the United Nations Global Compact. The announcement was made during a certificate handover ceremony at Tala's Nairobi offices, where Global Compact Kenya Executive Director Judy Gino highlighted the role of fintechs in deepening financial inclusion and access to credit.
The UN Global Compact, which has over 24,000 participating companies worldwide and more than 300 in Kenya, encourages businesses to integrate sustainability into their operations. With only 17% of the Sustainable Development Goals currently on track, digital financial services have been recognized as a tool to address financial barriers, particularly in underserved communities. Tana's engagement is expected to contribute to ongoing discussions on ethical lending and the role of technology in advancing financial inclusion. During the meeting between representatives of the two organizations, Tala General Manager and Stella Mumbi emphasized the company's focus on broadening financial access, particularly for small businesses and women entrepreneurs. Mumbi says the fintech will focus on democratizing access to credit for the global majority, particularly for MSMEs and women, further strengthening global financial inclusion efforts. She stated that the company would continue to leverage technology to support financial inclusion efforts, as well as expand access to credit to the undeserved. So far, only 17% of the Sustainable Development Goals are on track, with the rest either stalling or regressing.
Further afield, Singapore's biggest bank, DBS, has announced plans to retrench 4,000 employees over the next 3 years as artificial intelligence AI takes on more work currently being done by human beings. Here's Frederick Moki with the details of this news, plus others making headlines from other parts of the world.
Reports suggest that permanent employees of DBS are unlikely to be affected by the retrenchment by the lender. The bank's outgoing chief executive Piyush Gupta says it expects to create around 1,000 new AI-related jobs. He says DBS has been working on artificial intelligence for over a decade. Gupta says the bank currently deploys over 800 artificial intelligence models across 350 users and expects the measured economic impact of these to exceed $745 million this year. It makes DBS one of the first major banks to offer details on how AI will affect its operations. The bank currently has between 8,000 and 9,000 temporary and contract workers. In total, DBS employs about 41,000 people. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump's administration plans to toughen semiconductor restrictions on China, continuing and expanding the Biden administration's efforts to limit Beijing's technological prowess. U.S. officials recently met with their Japanese and Dutch counterparts about restricting engineers from maintaining semiconductor gear in China. Some U.S. officials also aim to further restrict the quantity and types of chips that can be exported to China without a license. Finally, cocoa production in Ivory Coast in 2025 season is on course to remain around last season's disappointing level after adverse weather and crop conditions continued. A sharp fall in output in Ivory Coast, the world's biggest supplier of the chocolate ingredient and number 2 producer Ghana in 2023-2024, triggered a surge in international prices to record highs last year. Faced with adverse climate effects and disease in aging cocoa trees, Ivory Coast started replanting and agroforestry measures to boost production over the next 2 years. Frederick Mwoki for Lunchtime News.
Pipeline women's volleyball team will be the only Kenyan representative in the Africa Zone 5 Club Championship, which spikes off tomorrow at the Lugogo Indoor Stadium in Kampala, Uganda. The defending champions will be leaving for Kampala today, captained by middle blocker Gladys Ekuru, who will be joined by Triza Atuka, Lydia Iswara, and Marian Sokoio. Others who have been named in the squad by head coach Geoffrey Omondi include outside hitters Leonida Kasanya, Beatrice Funa, Mariam Musa, and Daisy Leting. The setters are Immaculate Nekesa and Faith Imodia, while Agrippina Kudo and Celestine Nyongesa are the liberos. Lois Miu and Noel Murambi compete the lineup as the opposites. 20 clubs have confirmed their participation in the 3rd edition of the Africa Zone 5 Club Championship from, among other countries, Rwanda, Burundi, and host Uganda. Need for Speed, where winners of the 2025 Shell Autocross Championship have been rewarded after a spectacular racing action that saw Ravjia Dhethri and Ian Duncan shine at the Twisted 2 track in Kiambu County. A total of 5 rounds are scheduled for 2025, culminating in the crowning of category champions at the season finale. Rajveer Theri dominated the 4-wheel drive turbo class on the longer autocross plus, while he crossed the finish line ahead of Harpreet Singh and Aman Ganatra in a closely contested battle. Veteran motorsport champion Ian Duncan continued his impressive form to secure victory in the 2-wheel drive turbo buggy class. In the 4-wheel drive non-turbo category, Abid Ganatra claimed the top honors ahead of Jose Sardinha in the day's most competitive classes. The 2-wheel drive non-turbo senior category saw Altaf Ganatra finish an impressive 30 seconds ahead of second-placed Jose Sardinha. In the 2-wheel drive T-buggy class, Harpreet Singh Bagor claimed victory ahead of Ian Duncan. Neil Horil thrilled in the open class, which he won ahead of Clement Marini and Daniel Mwangi, while crowd favorite Shabiz Anwar claimed victory in the popular quad bike category.
I always like asking Ian, how many trophies does he have? The autocross and the autocross class championship.
And to soccer now, 8th placed Mallorca held their rival Sevilla to a 1-0 draw in a highly defensive La Liga match at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuana last night, while in the Serie A, 9th placed Roma extended their unbeaten streak when they beat Monza 4-0 at the Stadio Olimpico. Salamanca put Roma ahead after 10 minutes before Shomo.
Ready for the shift season 2. We're shifting from the studio to the grassroots, where policy meets reality. Your views meet government's voice.
This is not just about principal secretaries or any senior member of government. It is about you.
From agriculture to infrastructure, health to housing, MSMEs to the digital superhighway, a creative economy and beyond.
Get exclusive updates as Principal Secretaries share first-hand insights on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda rollout.
As we shift in transforming Kenya, we also shift from the studio to come to the field to check on what is going on, combine what we say with practically what is happening on the ground. Don't miss the program.
Every Tuesday on The Shift.
The Shift, Tuesday at 9 p.m. on KBC Channel 1.
You know what time it is? It is a grapevine time. How are you? What's up? How was your weekend? Just how are things coming along?
Yo, man, you already know the biggest show in the 254 is on. We are right here with a big vibe. Miss B, a lot has been happening.
Yep.
But there is this big event that went down at in Kigali, Rwanda, right?
In Kigali, in Rwanda. That is the Global Citizen Move Africa. Let me tell you, it was a big concert, and live, performing live over there in Kigali, Rwanda, was the one and only John Legend. Yes, he is a legend, just as his name suggests. And John Legend was there as the main act of the event. And let me tell you something, Mula. The number of Kenyans that were present for that show. Like, Kenyans left Kenya and went to Rwanda, Kigali, to get to see John Legend in, live in performance.
You know, Kenyans are such a party people, man.
Yeah, we love good music for sure.
Good music.
Yeah.
But again, Miss Vidmeona, Kigali has been hosting, some of the biggest events. And I hope, man, hata Kenya pia Grammys itakuja huko.
Well, For the Grammys, I'm not so sure. But, you know, when we talk about Kigali, even when you look at that particular event that happened on Friday over there, just look at the arena that they got to host that. I don't feel like we have that in Kenya. We don't have an arena that is of that kind of standard. Hata kuketi, like in terms of the organization and how it was, like hata ukiingia tu hivi, like kuna umedirectiwa, chairs ziko hii side, hizi ziko huku, wenye wanaingia na wing B, wenye wana, like it was so organized.
What I believe in, our event organizers can work out something, yeah?
No, event organizers can do it,
yeah.
But now do we have a space that can hold?
How about Njue Stadium?
Well,
what do you think about that?
It can work. We can make it work however way. But anyway, this is Grapevine, and this is where you get to get all the information on the events that went down over the weekend.
That's what's up.
Yes, and we're ready for you. My name is Vivian Dago. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jack Muller, the party daddy.co.ke, aka your girlfriend got my website.
And you know what this right here is?
Grapevine.
What you gotta do?
Let's start you off with an event that went down at the Alliance Francaise. You better trust the Alliance Francaise to ensure that they keep the entertainment industry going and moving. Yes, this time round they hosted the first ever edition of Rhythm of the 70s. Yes, and we had the likes of Njue from right here, from the 254. He's a really, really, really talented artist. So Njue was there performing, and we had a UK-based guitarist. Let's check that out. For the better part of Wednesday last week, the Alliance Francaise Nairobi played host to the first ever edition of the Rhythm of the 70s, bringing together Ket Bull All-Stars, Njue, Anditi Tigo, and UK-based guitarist Fiston Lusambo on one stage. That said, it was time to find out just how well fans were in touch with the 70s on Martha's music.
This music, when I was young, my dad really used to put them a lot. So I really know them from the beats, but I don't know them well. But I just love them. I cannot really know the lyrics, but what I know about it is that as long as it's Kenyan, it's African, I'm in for it. I'm there to support our own. That's my motive today here.
My favorite was, I don't know the name, but it was Fungeni Milango Wanakuja. I remember listening to that as a kid, and that was one of my favorite. And there was one they dropped towards the end. That was So Many Vijana Soma Soma, Upate Kazi Nzuri, Upate Maisha Mazuri. Obviously life has changed kidogo, but that's obviously something to remember. Study, and obviously things are obviously going to flow into place. And yeah, your paper's never going to fail you. So those two are my top two jams.
My name is Tabo Susa. I'm the founding director of KBC Music. And part of our mission is really to let the current generation know what was there before. We want to bridge the gap. Tonight, we produced the music actually celebrating the cultural icons from the late 1960s to 1970s.
From performance to performance, it was not in doubt that the melodies filled with nostalgia and timeless melodies refreshed our memories on the days gone by. As you probably know, the Kenyan pop scene flourished in the 1960s and 70s when a host of musicians and bands found success and popularity.
This era also gave birth to a new genre of music, the African twist. The sound of Kenya's independence, which resonated with and defined the swinging 60s, made popular by the self-styled king of African twist, Daudi Kabaka, and his contemporaries, Fadhili Williams, John Nzenze, among others. Among other notable artists remembered on this night was the legendary baritone vocalist Kasongo Wakanema, a co-founder member of the orchestra Super Mazembe Band. Now that was a brilliant way to celebrate timeless music. And to the organizers, your delivery of one unforgettable concert truly deserves a commendation.
Yeah, the energy was very, enriching. It felt like it was a reincarnation of the people who used to, party and boogie down to this music back in the past. I really enjoyed it, and I'm very thankful for Alliance Française for creating spaces for artists like this, and also welcoming young people to be able to partake into, music and appreciate the arts. So I'd say I had a great time. So 10 over 10. So thank you very much, and shout out to Grapevine for, rocking all of this years later.
This African twist, as I said, is being facilitated by Ketebu, and of course it's sponsored by the Alliance Française. But the director of Ketebu is Tabu Asusa, who's made everything possible and has enabled us and has inspired us as artists, not just by bringing us together to do this twist, but also through the books that he's published and written that are all about African heritage through music. He's documented this and published this in different books, and I wish this could inspire not just us as Kenyans, but especially our youth who have a lot to learn about who we are. I believe we owe our generation a lot in terms of where we come from, our identity as Kenyans, our identity as an African people. And as Kenyans, I feel like we are not focusing on our culture to inspire our music more than we are focusing on the West to inspire us. So that's my intention as a musician, to have that impact that's culturally oriented and also that focuses on the Kenyan people, the Kenyan culture.
It's not me to rate it as successful. I think it's up to the fans, the audience. But yes, we intend to have more shows like this. Like even the African twist, we're trying to see if we can have it in a bigger stage, maybe at the carnival. But just keep yourself informed. Keep it on Ketebu page. We'll tell you the rest.
And big shout out to all the legends that performed, man. Away from that, I'm taking you straight to Alchemist, where Jeff Logan, an artist who does, a fusion of rumba and Afrobeat, did his first performance, live performance, dubbed Jeff Logan Live. Let's check it out.
Alchemist Nairobi turned into a musical paradise over the weekend as Jeff Logan took the stage. The clock struck 7 p.m. The band struck their first chord, and the crowd, oh, were they ready? Who better to set the vibe right other than Gudaman? The hype man was real as he introduced the man of the moment, Jeff Logan. Logan, dripped in silk pink, stepped on stage like a boss. And boom, he opened with Matilda, followed by Mapepo, and the crowd sang it word for word. But he wasn't riding solo, oh no. First up, the soulful Anna Lokanga. Then the dynamic Kenches and Mordecai from Hat the Band. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, came Minor Mind and the powerhouse harmonies of Wana Vocali. Jeff Logan Live, music, magic, and a night to remember. That was one absolutely amazing concert. I definitely loved the Jeff Logan concert.
That's what's up, man. My brother from another mother.
Yeah,
he
he's
did his
really...
thing. And this is one guy that you guys need to watch out, man. Yeah.
For sure, I agree with you. He's really good at it. And the fact that we had other Kenyan artists just coming forth to support him on that, it's really, really a plus. On that note is where we take a short break. Don't you go too far. But before we do that, remember you can also find us on our social media handles. That is
at Jack Mula, at Vivian Degwe, and of course at KBC Channel 1. See you right after the break.
Yeah, for sure.
What you gotta do?
Wellness is important in our daily lives, so that instead of just surviving, we should be thriving.
Ways to prevent a stroke or heart attack is for you to know what conditions you have by regular checkup. People don't know they have hypertension. People they don't know they have diabetes.
I was pre-diabetic. I was afraid of getting lifestyle diseases because I come from a family that has lifestyle diseases.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
What you gotta do?
Now allow me to put you on to something that is very experiential, like the experience you get from here. Absolutely mind-blowing. It is the Museum of Illusion. As you can see, I don't know how many Vivians you're seeing, but yes, this is what is happening right here. It is the Museum of Illusion, and it is a first of its kind in East Africa. Well, there are several Museum of Illusions. This is actually the 58th one. We have one in Paris, we have another one in Dubai, we have others in New York, we have others in Copenhagen, Kuala Lumpur, and when you talk about Africa, we have one in Johannesburg, South Africa. The other one is in Cairo, Egypt. And this is the third one in Africa. And it is based in Nairobi, Kenya. And it is the first in the whole of East Africa. And just to let you know that this is actually the biggest one in Africa. So I won't speak too much. I will just let the illusions do the talking. Let's find out what's happening in here.
Very much based on like different types of like either visual or just tactile experiences where you are actually invited. You have to interact with all of our exhibits, and that's what makes it fun. And that's what makes it fun for all generations, because children naturally gravitate to things. They want to touch, they want to feel, they want sensory kind of explore things. Or, you know, grown-ups are more kind of conditioned to, you know, be a bit more careful with things. And that's why we here invite everyone to kind of go back to like their childhood selves and just explore and have fun and interact with things, either through their eyes or through their skin, through their fingers. And actually some rooms actually interact with you, like the Vortex one. It definitely spins you around.
It offers a fun and educational experience where visitors can explore mind-bending visual tricks, immersive installations, and puzzling displays.
There's so many changes in Nairobi in terms of how it's kind of growing as an urban space. And we felt like this is actually a right setup for a project like this that combines, you know, elements of being creative, being playful and artful. Yeah, so we thought it's a right place and the right time for Nairobi.
The museum also got to collaborate with artists from the 254, and we got the advantage of speaking to one of those.
They trusted my vision and they were participating in that process. So I think together we came together and created something really amazing. I'm so happy that Nairobi is getting to see these firsts. I think we've been ready for these kind of experiences, and I'm hoping that you just get many and many other things like this come along.
This is a franchise, so there's a certain pool of illusions from which every museum chooses their own exhibits. So in a way, mix is different in every museum, and of course, with every year there are new illusions added. So I think we have the selection here will be slightly different from the one in Johannesburg or somewhere in New York, for example. Plus, there are a certain number of illusions which can be localized. And we really enjoyed doing that. We really enjoyed kind of engaging local creatives here, designers, graphic designers and artists, to help us kind of ground our museum in Kenyan urban culture. And I'm super happy with the results. We invited Lulu Kitololo and Brano Molo and Moha, and we played with them on 3 different illusions. So yeah, and I feel like we've done such a really, really good job there.
So I've been telling people the artwork is like a love letter to Nairobi, because it has different aspects of things that inspired me when I grew up, things like African fabric, but I also put things like cityscapes, and also putting in the new buildings that are part of Nairobi cityscape now. But then there's also other cultural things like matatu, mahindi choma, and I think all those things came together to create an interesting story.
Nairobi, Kenya, having the opportunity of hosting the largest museum of illusions in Africa is truly a plus for us.
What? It has been received really, really well, and as it's based around fun and a little bit of education, it's actually a good formula. And you can see that everyone who comes out with a big smile, with lots of great photos and lots of great stories, yeah.
Museum of Illusion it is, man, yeah? I love what I see, and feel free to find out how, things do happen behind the scenes. Somebody adds it, yeah? What about now, man? Let me now take you to an event that went down at Shalom House along Gong Road, man, yeah? DocuBox called, and we definitely answered their call. And this time round, they premiered 4 short films, man. Just to mention them, we had Home, we had Float, we had Bella is Dying, maybe next week. And of course, the 4th one, we had Know the Body, Know the Self. Now, most of these films were born out of real conversations about, our body, our choices, and our well-being. Now, let's head to the event and see how it went down.
Weeping, waiting for you to remember how it felt when it grasped in your palms.
DocuBox East African Documentary Film Fund, in partnership with the International Resource for Impactful Stories, organized the Kenya Creates film premiere at the Shalom House along Gong Road.
You can feel it running its fingers across your hair.
The successful premiere showcased 4 bold and thought-provoking films produced under the Kenya Creates project, tackling urgent conversations around young people, their bodies, and their choices.
Resistance to antibiotics and manifests in many ways, such as sores, rashes.
Why are you scratching like that?
A urinary colored discharge.
All the films were crafted by a diverse group of storytellers stepping into new creative spaces.
So this particular premiere, it's of very great films which were created by creatives from who are not filmmakers apart from one. And you find these are cutting across someone like Tai, who is a comedian, a renowned stand-up comedian. You look at Adele Anyango, a former journalist and now a poet, also running a great podcast. You look at Abigail Arunga, who was also a former journalist but now a scriptwriter and also a producer, but first to direct a film. But also Lydia Matata, who is a renowned, seasoned, award-winning filmmaker.
Just give a nudge, I see. You should also. There is a time for everything, and everything has its time. Well, it all sounds perfectly reasonable.
Each film takes us on a deeply personal journey. For instance, Home, a film written and directed by Adele Onyango, whom we had a chat with during the premiere.
I feel like every woman, and it's the same for men, but because it's really talking about a woman's story, your first and true home is your body. And so the premise of the film is to explore an African woman's journey back into her body and some of the things that take us away from our body or make us doubt our body or think it's not worthy. But if you think about it, this is your home. You move from house to house or from city to city or from country to country, but what you're moving within is your body, and that's your first home.
What are you doing playing with boys?
Teach me.
Teach me. You'll soon end up like this.
Teach me. Float was among the films that made it to the premiere. It tells a story of a teenage swimmer who battles self-doubt and body image struggles, dreading the pool.
Your body is not a graveyard.
You're no longer a symbol god.
Angel Otieno, a 13-year-old cast who played the main role of Bella in the film Bella is Dying Maybe Next Week, also shared an incredible story and experience behind the film.
Bella is Dying is all about a girl who is very naive and she thinks she's going to die, basically. She has these weird signs during her menstrual time, and well, she's having bad thoughts, like she thinks that they might be an STD, something like that.
I think there's something wrong with me.
Haven't you been talking to her about that?
Why do I have so many pimples? Is it contagious? What if it is? I touched your arm. Okay, wait. Everyone calm down. I think I'm dying. Maybe next week.
Know Thy Body, Know Thyself was the fourth film that told us the story about an honest, humorous take on male sexuality and taboos.
The first time I had to go and buy in a very conservative place, it was the most shaking time of my life.
We are super excited today to be here with love and support of filmmakers, film lovers, creative sector, and general Kenyans coming here to support their own stories. We found now, and we like that mostly you're finding Kenyans loving their own stories and enjoying them and supporting and actually paying tickets to come and watch. And this is what we're really encouraging people to appreciate authentic African stories for Africa.
Every single person in the world has body insecurities. It's gonna get you money, but I'm on the beat.
I guess it's now time for us to get to say goodbye to you. It has been an amazing show, fully packed, you know. By the way, I just have to let you know that I had so much fun at the Museum of Illusions.
Really?
Like I had a lot of fun, actually.
How do you guys, do those photos, Miss V?
Yeah, it's interesting. Did you see the one where my head was somewhere, complete? Like it's all illusions.
Kuna ingine niliona karibu unaanguka hivi.
Yeah.
What really happens, when you guys are making those photos?
I can't tell you.
Really? Okay.
I mean, the fun is in you experiencing it. So when I tell you, I will tell you experience.
Stay experiencing it.
Yeah. So you need to plan and just go experience it.
I will definitely do that, man. Right about now, I want to take a big shout out to everybody who tuned in. Last week I was in Kisumu and man, we have so many people following up on our show, man. Yeah. So big shout out to you all. I can't mention you all.
Yeah.
But you already know, man. My love to you. Miss V.
Watu wa Kisumu City na wasalimia Njue. Yes, and thank you so very much for all the love that you get to show us right here. As the Grapevine team, this is where we say goodbye. I have been your host, Vivian Dagwa, or you can simply just call me Miss V.
Jock Muller, the party daddy.co.ke, aka your girlfriend, got my website.
And you know what they say, if you did not get to see it on Grapevine,
then it must probably never happen. Adios.
Sasa unatumia simu latest iPhone 13 Pro Max. Juzi ulitembea kwa miguu. Leo uko Dubai, kesho uko Mombasa. Kila mara wajidai vile unaishi maisha ya kisasa. Leo umepiga lui, kesho
Get ready for The Shift Season 2. We are shifting from the studio to the grassroots, where policy meets reality. Your views meet government's voice.
This is not just about principal secretaries or any senior member of government. It is about you.
From agriculture to infrastructure, health to housing, MSMEs to the digital superhighway, a creative economy and beyond.
Get exclusive updates as Principal Secretary share first-hand insights on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda rollout.
As we shift in transforming Kenya, we also shift from the studio to come to the field to check on what is going on, combine what we say with practically what is happening on the ground. Don't miss the program.
Every Tuesday on The Shift.
The Shift, Tuesday at 9 p.m. on KBC Channel 1.
Last time you called me to go back and fix the plumbing, I felt like she was acting weirdly as if someone was at home.
Huh?
I'll give her a call and ask.
Are you crazy? It's none of your business. You two are divorced.
What are you doing?
It took us a lot of effort to get this banned. Make sure nothing goes wrong during the event.
Let me tell you the truth. The reason we're here today is to match your sister and my uncle. I want to create some time for them to be alone.
If I put it to you that ile makosa ulifanya nini niliwakataza, bambi ya boyfriend. How do you go to your boyfriend and you're going to school? What is more important than
mimi sina boyfriend?
Huyu ni mtoto wako?
No, I'm the second parent now. Yes.
Second parent, yes. Lakini hii mambo namwambia ya hao maboyfriend ulijulia wapi?
Nilijua.
Na mbona hukufuatilia mzazi wake umwambie?
Kwa hivyo if I tell this honorable court that what you did, it was your own judgment. Ukafungia watoto nje. Will I be lying? No. Thank you.
Wewe ndio uliamua kufungia watoto nje wanafunzi.
Hapana, nilifuata masharti yake mheshimiwa.
Na sasa unasema yes. Kama uelewi sema sielewi.
Mkisubu ya elewi na yeye ni principal.
Wacha nikwambie, kitu mbaya angefanyikia mmoja wao wanafunzi, hiyo kisungu yako angeisha.
Wait a minute, let me ask you.
Maswali umemaliza ya hii kesi.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice,
we have to do it twice.
A very good afternoon to you, and you are right on time for the National Assembly proceedings on this 25th day of February, the year 2025. This is a broadcast that is streaming from the Parliament buildings in Nairobi, a broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. And this is the live broadcast of the proceedings of the National Assembly. A warm welcome to you. My name is Kamchemenza. In the order of business for the members of the National Assembly as they convene for this sitting this afternoon is that pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44, paragraph 2C, various members have the opportunity to request for statements. These are statements that are later forwarded to the relevant committees with regards to the matters that will have been raised by the members as they make those statements or they request for those statements. And this afternoon, the Honorable Member for Huisero, Honorable Christopher Aseka, will be requesting for a statement from the Administration and Internal Security Committee. And this is with regards to scrapping the application fees for issuance of identity cards for first-time applicants. The Honorable Member for Mgwen, Honorable Joseph Lel Mengit, will also request for a statement, and this is from the Committee on Education with regards to recruitment process by the Teachers Service Commission. The Honorable Member for Kiambu County, or rather Kiambu, this is Honorable Mashua Waithaka. His statement will be requested from the Committee on Health. This is with regards to recent outbreak of Marburg virus disease in the region, pursuant to provisions of the same Standing Order 44, paragraph 2C. The Honorable Member for Kiamba, Honorable John Kawanjiku, will be requesting for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Lands. This is with regards to disputed ownership of land belonging to Wilson Mutumba Women Group. And also this afternoon, the Honorable Member for Sirisia, pursuant to provisions of the Standing Order 44, paragraph 2C, will request for a statement from the Tourism and Wildlife Committee, and this is with regards to decline of performance of the tourism sector in the country. These are statements that will be requested by various members to relevant committees, and the members will be expecting to get responses on these concerns that they have raised to be looked into by those relevant committees. This is the live broadcast of the National Assembly proceedings, the afternoon sitting. That is the chambers of the National Assembly. Members are expected to make their way into the chambers. The business of the House is scheduled to commence from 2:30. And of course, members are expected to make their way into the chambers and of course also enable the House attain the required quorum for it to be able to commence its business. So if you're just joining us that the House is about to commence its business, in a short while, of course, we will see the Speaker's procession make its way into the chambers, and the House will be called to order for the House to commence its business. But as you can see, those are just a few members who have already made their way into the chamber, ready for the afternoon sitting for this particular day. So we shall go back to what the members, as they convene this afternoon, what they will be transacting. Now you will recall that last week the members considered the Culture Bill. This is a bill that is originating from the National Assembly, Bill number 12 of 2024, a bill that is sponsored by the leader of the majority party. It is a bill that is at its second reading, so a debate on this particular bill already took place extensively on the floor of the House. This is a bill that provides for the establishment of a cultural database, access to information relating to management of culture in Kenya, compensation to individuals, groups, or communities for the use of cultural properties, among other issues. But just to alert you that the Speaker has made his way into the chambers. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast brought to you by PBU in partnership with KBC. Good afternoon.
Mheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala haki wa wanadamu. Tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita ili tekeleza shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tukuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tulikutanika hapa. Na tujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote tutakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako siendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umesikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen.